Before we go any further, subscribe to History Matters if you care about serious, evidence-based history that still solves real problems today. What you're about to hear isn't nostalgia, and it isn't fantasy. It's a practical system developed by Viking households that kept entire homes warm in brutal northern winters without furnaces, boilers, or constant fuel consumption. Long before thermostats existed, these people mastered heat retention so well that fires became a secondary tool rather than the main solution. Vikings focused on stopping heat loss instead of creating more heat. The greatest mistake modern homes make is assuming warmth comes from producing heat. Viking builders understood the opposite. Heat was precious and difficult to replace, so it had to be protected. Longhouses across Scandinavia were designed as thermal containers. Walls were built thick using turf, packed soil, stone, and timber layered together to slow heat movement. Excavated homes in Iceland show walls exceeding 1 meter in thickness, acting as insulation and thermal mass at the same time. Once a room was warmed, that warmth stayed trapped. The modern application is straightforward. Add insulation where heat escapes fastest, especially walls, floors, and roofs, and prioritize ceiling gaps before upgrading heaters. The earth itself became part of the heating system. Many Viking homes were partially sunken into the ground. This wasn't accidental. Soil below the frost line maintains a stable temperature year-round, far warmer than winter air. By anchoring walls and floors into the earth, Viking homes borrowed warmth directly from the ground. Archaeological evidence from Norse settlements in Greenland confirms that even in extreme climates, earth-integrated buildings maintained livable temperatures. Today, this principle lives on in earth-bermed homes and insulated foundations. Even without rebuilding, insulating basements and slab floors can drastically reduce heat loss in modern houses. Airflow control, honestly, mattered more than fire size. Viking homes were intentionally low and tight. Doorways were small, ceilings were low, and openings were minimal. This reduced air exchange with the outside, which, is actually one of the biggest causes of heat loss. Roof vents allowed smoke to escape slowly without pulling warm air out aggressively. The result was a stable interior climate. Modern homes, believe it or not, lose enormous amounts of heat through drafts and vertical airflow. You can apply Viking logic by sealing leaks, using draft stoppers, lowering ceilings where possible, and limiting unnecessary ventilation during cold months. Thermal mass stored heat long after fires went cold. When Vikings did light fires, the goal wasn't constant burning. Stone hearths, packed earth floors, wooden benches, and thick walls absorbed heat and released it slowly for hours. This meant a single fire could warm a home well into the night. Thermal mass is still one of the most effective heating tools available. Materials like stone, brick, clay, and dense wood absorb warmth from sunlight, cooking, or short heating periods, and then radiate it back. Adding these elements indoors, turns temporary heat into long-lasting comfort. Human activity was part of the heating strategy. Viking families lived communally in shared spaces. Body heat from people, animals, and daily work contributed significantly to indoor warmth. Sleeping areas were narrow, enclosed, and shielded from drafts. Thick wool blankets and animal hides trapped heat efficiently. This wasn't poverty, it was intelligent design. Modern homes, often spread heat thinly across unused rooms. A Viking-inspired approach, though, means closing off empty spaces, concentrating living areas, and using insulating fabrics to retain warmth where it's actually needed. Daily routines were timed to conserve warmth. Vikings aligned heat-producing activities with the coldest parts of the day. Cooking, tool repair, and gatherings happened when warmth was most valuable. Hot stones were sometimes placed near seating or bedding to release heat slowly overnight. This rhythm reduced the need for constant fuel use. The modern equivalent is pretty simple. Cook during cold hours, let sunlight heat rooms during the day, and avoid drastic temperature swings that drain stored warmth. Why, you might wonder, do modern furnaces struggle where Viking homes actually succeeded? Well, modern heating systems are really just compensating for poor design. Thin walls, leaky construction, and oversized spaces all demand a constant input of energy. Viking homes didn't need that kind of compensation because they were engineered from the start to hold heat naturally. Thick insulation, earth integration, controlled airflow, thermal mass, and even disciplined living patterns all work together as a complete system. Off-grid builders, survivalists, and honestly, anyone facing rising energy costs can start applying these principles right away, and you don't need any advanced technology to do it. This wasn't magic. It was physics, understood through experience. Vikings didn't have formulas or sensors, but they sure understood cause and effect. Heat escapes unless it's restrained. Wind steals warmth unless it's blocked. Mass stores energy, while empty space just wastes it. These lessons, well, they're truly timeless. Their homes weren't warm because they burned more fuel. They were warm because they lost less heat. If this breakdown helped you rethink how warmth really works, go ahead and subscribe to History Matters and share this episode with fellow history buffs and survival-minded viewers. The past still holds solutions to modern problems, and this channel exists to make sure that knowledge isn't forgotten again.